Code 999 mode activated.
Oh, you might like this one. Oh, let's have again.
When crisis strikes,
Right, is anybody breathing?
this is where we turn.
We've got a missing child.
Can you see any part of the baby yet?
Mine's about 50 metres away off the map.
People don't call because everything's going hunky-dory.
Go.
It's our emergency services
We're going to kill somebody.
who see firsthand what Britain's really like.
There's a series of cars having raced. One of them has just stuck his thumb out of the window at 80 miles an hour.
And how it's changing.
Hey for the boys.
Jesus. Well, that's what he was holding.
68 previous.
Oh, you're going to love this one, Kat. It's an 84-year-old bleeding from his penis.
For the nation's ambulance, police and fire services, times have never been tougher.
The thin blue line gets weaker, and if you break that,
Get away from me now!
who's going to save your bacon?
Well, she's Russian, but she's just lost consciousness. She's on MDMA.
But when it matters most,
Come on, stab!
theirs is still the number
Here's emergency.
the nation relies on most.
Tell me exactly what happened.
1, 2, 3, 4. Keep going at that rhythm for me, okay?
Any allergies at all?
Yeah. Release.
I'm just scared about her.
Yeah, I know you're scared. You're doing really well.
Is there anything else you need from us?
I'm so apologetic.
Nothing to apologise for, honestly.
Ambulance. Is the patient breathing?
Yes, my partner's been stabbed in the groin.
Okay.
Lots of blood.
Lots of blood, so we're coming out as quickly as we can. Let me just ask you some questions, all right?
In the past 5 years, the call handlers at the Southwestern Ambulance Service Control Room
Is there any serious bleeding?
have experienced a significant increase in injuries relating to knives.
When did this happen?
Just now, 5 minutes ago.
Is the attacker still nearby?
No, he's gone.
He's gone, is he?
It's everywhere, it's every day. It's, 12 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon. It's, 9 a.m. on a Monday morning.
What was he stabbed with?
A big knife. What do you say?
A kitchen knife.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember taking a call for a 6-year-old that had stabbed a teacher in a primary school.
Is the kitchen knife still in his leg?
No.
We're coming out as quickly as we can, okay?
And I've taken a call for a 70-year-old that had stabbed his wife.
He said he'd been stabbed.
He said he'd been stabbed.
His face was really cut. I don't know if there's anywhere else. There could be other injuries.
Is he completely alert?
No, he sounds very dazed, fuzzy.
Knives can cause catastrophic damage.
Transfer you across to a paramedic and give you some extra advice for that stabbing, all right?
You literally just need to nick an artery and that's it. Within 5 minutes, that person's dead, so, yeah.
It's the early hours of Sunday morning in Trowbridge.
Hello, ambulance. Is the patient breathing? Yeah, I am breathing. Is the patient awake? Yes, I am. Okay, what's the reason for the call today? Just been stabbed. Where have you been stabbed? In the back. Yeah, my left hand side. I don't know how deep it is, I can't see it at all. I can feel it and it sounds like a nice gash.
Can I ask how old you are, please?
24.
What's the address of the emergency? Where are you?
I'm at Trowbridge Hospital. Gradually.
I'm guessing it's shut, is that right?
Yeah, there's no one in there.
We'll be there as soon as we can.
Alright, first.
Stabbing.
Paramedics Claire Netley and Heather Lynch are immediately dispatched to the scene. Along with the air ambulance and other critical care vehicles.
I haven't seen a lot of knife crime, to be honest. We only live in sort of like a rural community, really. But the ambulance service as a whole, I see more knife instances. I'm shocked that someone can do that to another person, really.
Ambulance services, patient breathing.
No, he's not.
What's the address?
Trowbridge casualty. I mean, I just rang him a minute ago. We're making in a bad way as well. It's fine, it's happened as well.
Okay, so is he breathing at all?
No, I don't think he is.
There is a crew on the way. I'm going to tell you how you can help him in the meantime, okay? Is he lying flat on his back?
What, talking about the car?
Yeah, you need to get him on the floor flat on his back so we can help him.
Yeah.
You got him out on the floor?
He's been stabbed as well. Massive fucking stab.
2 stabbings. Yeah, one's in cardiac arrest. 24-year-old.
You need to put the heel of your hand at the centre of his chest with your other hand on top of it. 1 and 2 and 3. And 1 and 2 and 3. Can you start calling that out for me so I can hear you do it?
2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3.
You got a HEMS doctor or anything en route to this, to come back? Thanks very much, Tim.
1 and 2 and 3.
That's excellent. It was really hard work, but you're giving him the best chance. The crew are only a couple of minutes away. They're going to be there really soon.
There were some tender hooks on the way there. You just don't know what were we going to find when we got there, really. Were we at risk? The perpetrator could still be around.
1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2.
It is hard work, but you're doing really, really well. Can you see him?
Yeah.
Have they seen you?
Yeah.
All right, I'll leave you with the crew. Well done.
Hi there, guys. Where's the other?
No.
While medics from Wiltshire Air Ambulance attend to the most severely injured man, paramedics Heather and Claire
Come on a minute, my love. Come on the ambulance, Simon.
assess the extent of the injuries sustained by his friend who made the 999 call.
Are you in a lot of pain? Can I have a little feel?
Yeah.
Come and sit on here, my love. Okay, love. Have you had any alcohol or drugs or anything today?
One point.
Okay. Tell us what's happened.
Can't really remember. This bloke came out of us with a knife. Went for Jordan first, then I jumped in.
All right, mate. All right. It was your Belgian friend, is it?
We go out to the most serious ill and injured patients. Basically, something that's gone horribly wrong for somebody that day. That was the second stabbing I'd attended in that shift. If you sustain a knife injury, it's not like the movies, it's not like TV. You know, when people get stabbed, their life is in peril.
Where's he stabbed you, darling? Do you see? Did you see where he stabbed?
The front twice.
In his chest?
Yeah.
Did he talk to you?
No, he's gone.
It's emergency.
Hi, I'm a taxi driver in Trowbridge and seen a young lad stumbling around and been attacked.
On the phone to the police is a member of the public who has seen someone fleeing the scene.
Whereabouts is this?
It's by Charlotte Square. She's running away. Hey!
Wait, he...
Injured.
Oh, right, okay. Has he got any injuries?
Yeah, his mouth is completely dripping with blood.
Can you describe him to me at all?
Well, he's quite a chunky fellow, wearing like a big green coat with a hoodie.
And the male,
Hey!
is he looking at you?
Yeah, he just walked out and he's on the road again.
If you see officers, if you can flag them down and obviously point him out in case they can't see him or if he runs off or something.
Yeah, like that in my vision now.
This young man here has, they've been at Charlotte Square, right? And you were getting into your car, weren't you, love? Him and his mate, and some man, approximate what age? Anyways, come out there with a knife, stabbed his friend twice in the chest. He's in cardiac arrest in that vehicle, we're working on him now. How old's your friend, love?
Just turned 25, 3 years.
What's his name?
Jordan Taylor.
It's now over 60 minutes since the two young men were stabbed.
Am I gonna be alright?
Yeah.
My mate's not there, is he?
By the time we arrived on scene, the most seriously injured patient, Jordan, was already in cardiac arrest. He had several stab wounds to his abdomen, and one of those had nicked his aorta, which is his main blood vessel that goes down to his abdominal organs, his pelvis, his legs. So it was obvious that some serious internal damage had been done by that knife.
Neil,
Unfortunately, mate, your friend has passed.
It's a difficult decision to stop a resuscitation. It's never easy, to be honest, no matter what the age of the patient is. We're seeing this all across the country, more and more. There's a real epidemic. It's not just our major cities, it's places like Trowbridge. You know, it's a small Wiltshire market town and a young lad has been stabbed to death.
Instantly, it's a murder investigation. We have a Category A murder. We have a murder without a suspect.
The police have been unable to find the man reported running from the scene.
Who's emergency?
Hi, I think there's a man being assaulted just outside another court.
In Trowbridge?
Yes.
But other calls have been coming in from potential witnesses.
I heard a man shouting. I could see a little bit of a scuffle, but I couldn't do very much. I don't know if a man jumped out of the car and assaulted a man or what.
Okay, so there was a car involved, was there?
Yeah.
I was led in bed watching some videos on my phone and I hear a bottle rattling around. I thought it was just a couple of kids or drunks. And then I heard a thud. And then that's where I got up and had a look. But all I heard from one person was, I don't want no trouble. That's all I heard. To me, I thought it was just a drunken fight. But it obviously turned out to be way more than that.
Some blood on the pavement just here. Just cover that over. And there, one here and then one where I was stood.
Neil, where did it all happen?
Yeah, Charlotte Square.
Okay. Right, do you know who it was who was holding the knife?
No.
Can you describe him? White?
Yeah, white, 6'2", wearing like a green coat down to his knees, bag on his back.
Did you say anything?
No.
Never seen him before?
No.
Do you see what kind of knife it was?
Yeah, a 3-inch blade, like a rounded tip on it.
Or around it on the end of the blade?
Mm.
White male, 6'2", knee-length, green parka, of carrying a knife, a 3-inch rounded knife.
I've had dealings with knives. I hate them. I absolutely hate them. I've been held at knife point to my throat. That was terrifying. And someone I know got slashed across the face with half his cheek missing, like just hanging down. That was probably the worst sighting I could ever see in my life.
You've got eyes on that suspect?
No, no, except
I don't think they realise the injuries that they can cause. And I think that's the problem. You know, all these young kids are being fatally stabbed, and I'm wondering whether the assailant actually meant to do that or just meant to frighten them. And it's just gone that one step too far.
It's 9:30 a.m. 7 hours since the fatal stabbing in Trowbridge.
Hi, sir.
Jordan Taylor.
I can't tell you anything at this moment in time. Not because I'm being rude or anything. Literally just here to make sure that this area is sterile as possible. Okay, sorry about that, sir.
This is going to look like Trowbridge is the hits.
I can't tell you, I'm afraid. I'm sure you'll find out soon enough.
What has happened. It sounds awful, but your focus must change. Don't get distracted now, because that's how we are going to help Jordan and Jordan's family.
The area's been cordoned off because around the corner there is where the actual attack is alleged to have happened. Within this whole area is where people have run or have made off. The only thing that we have is that it's a knife or a sharp-bladed instrument. So that's essentially what we're going to be looking for. So we're going to be doing all these edges, bins, drains. Our primary goal this morning is to try and get some of these roads done first so that we can get them open again to the public.
Responsibility for finding the killer ultimately falls to DCI Jim Carter of Wiltshire's major crime team.
Wiltshire probably gets somewhere in the region of about 4 or 5 murders a year.
If we get some mirrors, we should be able to look in all the gutters and do the gutters.
Most of them are domestic related, where someone in a relationship has killed the other party and where it's quite clear at the outset who's responsible. Where you don't know who the offender is, there's very much a race against time to catch them.
At Melksham Police Station, a team from the major crime unit has been assembled.
Our scene is up here. We think that our man walks down there into the bin shed. The bin shed is just up there.
The best lead they have is CCTV.
The taxi driver's on the phone to the police and the police arrive at 0132, which is probably when he's just coming out of the bin area. See him? Yeah. There he is. So he walks down here, you'll see the area lights up. You think that could even be the police van arriving.
You want to understand the truth. You want to understand the truth of the events. You know, you want to get justice for people. You want to get justice for their families.
That's his bag in his left hand.
We got lucky the person walked under that camera. And I thought, oh, this must be our guy. But we didn't know who this person was.
This is a prime example of why you should clean your cameras. This is a big cobweb.
We get a spider web on every job, actually. A spider web or blobs of rain.
I was hoping to see that he was on the phone, but I can't see.
Well, at least that links the two areas though, doesn't it?
We'd done lots of work and we could establish where he hadn't gone because there was lots of alleyways and roads covered by CCTV, so we kind of knew he'd gone into a premises or got into a car at this point.
So actually I'm really pleased with that.
With CCTV analysis having identified a prime suspect, but not been able to provide any clear evidence as to where he might be.
As the inspector for this town, I want to reassure everyone living in Trowbridge that we are treating this as a major investigation.
The police decide to go public.
The victim and male friend were in the Timble Street and Prospect Place area of the town when both were seriously assaulted by another man, who then ran off. We would like to speak to anyone who heard or saw anything suspicious around 1:45 hours this morning. Sadly, one local man in his 20s died at the scene. The other local man received minor injuries. He is now helping us with our investigation.
I make it 6:20 and the tape machine is working and it's all started. My name's DC2364 Derek Boyle. I'm based on the major crime team here at Wiltshire.
Now he's been released from hospital, detectives can take a full account of what happened from Jordan's friend, Neil.
We were at the Black Horse in Trowbridge. Had a drink there. Moved on.
Neil was key to this investigation. He was the only one who witnessed the fight.
So you and Jordan, you were driving, were you?
Yeah.
But we wouldn't class him as someone who was independent because he was a friend of Jordan's and he'd been involved in the incident himself. He'd been stabbed.
Jordan spotted someone and asked me to pull over. And then he got out of the car with a can of air freshener from my car.
So Jordan took, can you tell me about the air freshener?
Yeah, you must have hit him with a little snake.
What is it? What?
It's like just like a metal can.
Yeah.
Probably about 12 inches long.
Neil has got to reconcile. Jordan's my best friend and I've seen him die, but I've got to tell the police that Jordan was the instigator, and it wouldn't sit comfortably with him. I'm sure it wouldn't.
And then they were both on the floor.
They were
both like scrapping each other, and then I seen a knife.
So it was a horrible position to be in. And I think, you can't imagine what emotional scars he's going to have to deal with when he's for the rest of his life.
I tried breaking it up, and that's when I felt it in my back.
Whether Jordan Taylor was the aggressor, whilst that is a massive piece of information for us, it didn't really affect how we were going to investigate it in any way. You know, Jordan had still still died, and someone had to be accountable for it.
It's 9:30 p.m.
When we got over to the scene this morning, the first thing we noticed is on the floor is a brown strap off a bag, clearly marked as Star Wars, and right next to the strap was an aerosol can. We then had information about a bin shed, and in there on the floor was blood, probably about the length of my hand, very frothy.
This is where the location of the man in a sort of long ring coat is believed to have gone and secreted himself. So
Yeah.
we have strong suspicions that that is an offender's blood there.
Get your eyes around this screen, and Lorraine will tell us a little bit about the work she's been doing around CCTV.
So this is the junction of Timble Street. So that's the alleyway that takes you towards Charlotte Street in the bin area there. At 0132, see a male carrying a big bag in his hand, possibly a beard or goatee, and she's walking across there. And he turns around out here, and he's sort of turning around quite distinctively there, and then sort of walking on. And he just stuck out because it was the right time. 0127 is when we've got the logs about the fight. Then we're saying that the fight didn't last very long, so maybe 0128. This man goes off towards the bins. He's there for 2 to 3 minutes, so 0131. I mean, I see this guy at 0132.
Time is crucial in a murder investigation, and in these early days it's important for police to establish exactly what happened when Jordan Taylor was stabbed and died on Sunday. Police particularly want to speak to a white man who was wearing a green Parker coat and was carrying a black bag.
Over 100 officers are now involved in the search for the killer of 25-year-old Jordan.
Yeah, we're good.
From that blood staining from within the bin area, we have a full DNA profile, and that is a male profile. The bad news is it doesn't match anyone on the National DNA database.
It was a bit of a kick in the stomach, really. There's huge pressure for us to solve this crime.
It's 7:15 in the evening.
This is the person with the bag. Walk across the road.
And in the incident room, a new piece of CCTV has come to light.
The car passes from left to right, turns around at roundabout, pulls into here.
It's good when a job breaks. You get that little lead, which is just this private CCTV camera. And you could see a very distant view of the road, but you could see a car pull up and him get into it.
Where this guy is, and hear the door open. You hear something being said, and the door closed, and he's dropping the car lights off back towards Church Street.
We should see that car then. So if we watch to see a car now... Yeah.
That's it.
So, got a very flat back. Once we had that car, and that's when it really upped the pace for us.
Silver?
No.
It looks red.
No, don't trust colours on CCTV. That could be black. It's not white, and it's not cream, and it's not yellow.
I'd say Skoda.
We need to get to that car as quickly as possible. It could be cleaned, could be destroyed. We need to secure the evidence.
It's 8:50 a.m.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for your early start and a lot of hours, a lot of commitment from all of you yesterday, and some significant results have come in. And my current working hypothesis is we have the witness that puts our suspect into the bin room. He makes a telephone call, and within 3.5 minutes, a vehicle comes from Union Street, stops, engages in conversation, and our suspect gets in that vehicle. Unfortunately, we can't get an index. Let's get on then, please.
Just very quick, boss. A message came in just after midnight.
Yeah.
Saying that Neil's been on Facebook last night, or he's been passed information around Facebook, and that a male called Mark Messenger, who's 27 years of age from Westbury, he's looked at him on Facebook and he's saying that he is the man that stabbed his friend. Messenger is known to us for warning markers for weapons, carries a penknife. He's into Star Wars, and he had a Star Wars bag, which is on Facebook.
Right, that's significant.
Straight away after this briefing, we'll come up with an urgent plan around him.
All right, thank you, folks.
When your most significant witness to the case is saying that is the person who stabbed my friend, it's huge.
Time by my watch is 12:16. I am DC 2452 Tom Allen from the Major Crime Team.
I'm DC 2364 Derek Hoyle, also the Major Crime Team.
And also present. Can you say your name, please?
Neil.
The reason we are doing this additional interview today, because it's come to our attention that there is some further information that you would like to tell the police. This male, you said at the time you didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know who he is now?
Yeah.
Okay. So talk me through who he is and how you know who he is now.
I got a message last night saying, look up Mark Messenger. I looked him up and knew it was him straight away. To his face.
Okay.
The picture of Mark is still there within another picture and comment.
We left Black Horse to go and find some coke to buy. I had my car key in my hand when I was trying to break it up, and I probably hit him.
So this is when you've gone over to try and separate them because you've seen Jordan be stabbed?
Yeah.
Two options. One is arrest him. I'm favouring that option personally, and my rationale for that is he's been named by a key and significant witness that's responsible, albeit there are some concerns around reliability of that witness.
Does he fit the description?
17 stone, 20.
He's a lump. He's a lump. He does fit the description.
They're describing a goatee, and it's actually quite a bushy.
Really?
And he's got propensity to carry weapons.
Yes, he carries a knife, but he's unconvicted. Yes, he's not on the database.
The other option is deal with him, interview him, take his DNA swab.
Now, obviously, this male may have injuries which will help us identify him as being the particular person in question. Would your key have made contact anywhere on him?
Would have done.
Would you be able to say where?
Probably on his head.
Okay.
The Facebook page is now saying, you can find him now, I can't fucking wait. All right, so we've got to do something, all right?
I'd like a little bit more evidence first, but we need to now react. His welfare will be paramount.
The situation unfolded so rapidly, people were willing to take matters into their own hands and go and get him and lynch him. We had to act. If he comes back and say, yeah, that's it, we're doing it.
How confident are you that this is the male that stabbed Jordan and attacked you?
100%.
We've got a telephone number for him.
Yes.
Right.
1210 using this mast.
Yeah.
I think he might be at his place of work.
Right.
Hello, Mark. I'm DC David Top. I'm from the Major Crime Investigation Team. Can I get you to stand up for us? You're going to come with us to custody.
I had a text about half an hour ago from my little brother.
Okay, I'll just say to you before you go any further, you realise you're under caution. Anything you do say is going to be
That's
recorded.
completely fine.
Okay.
He told me he's just seen someone on Facebook say something about how you've been, and I thought it was chainmail or something. One of those weird messages.
Yeah.
That just. So I was about to get on the phone to him. What is this about?
We're going to put some plastic bags over your hands to preserve any potential evidence.
You were arrested?
Yes. Yeah.
What did he say?
After caution, it was just, yep. And then, this is a strange day.
Yeah, grounds for the arrest are that there was an incident in Trowbridge which resulted in the murder of Jordan Taylor. Police inquiries have identified Mr. Messenger as a suspect for that offence. Mark, I'm also arresting you on suspicion of the attempted murder of Neil. The necessity is to allow officers to carry out searches for outstanding evidence and to prevent harm to any other person. You're going to take your phone and the knife, okay?
Yeah. Extended 3-inch blade. That could kill, couldn't it? There's a lot of knives in the house, a lot of ammunition, a lot of replica guns. That's the type of thing they seem to like.
Forensic samples, including blood, fingernail scrapings, and saliva for DNA, are taken from the suspect to be sent for analysis against samples retrieved from the crime scene.
Right, everybody, if we can have some quiet, please. Tonight I've gone to meet the family of our deceased, which is never an easy job. One staggering thing came from being in there. Within 5 minutes of being in there, for those that don't know, our suspect in custody works at the music shop in Westbury, and Dad disclosed that within the last few months that they had had a row within the music shop with Jordan present. So for me, that was quite significant.
Upon his arrest, he relinquished a knife, which he carries on him all the time, and he says that it's for releasing a motorbike or a chain, which we think is probably the motorbike chain that he uses regularly. He's got no visible injury from what we can see at the moment, albeit he's got a slight sort of spot on his head that looks like a spot that's been picked, which may be consistent with Neil's account that he tried to use a key to hit him over the head, which is quite helpful. But there's nothing around the nose or mouth.
He was in Trowbridge because he's into, what do you call it? Warhammer, which I'm told are these little military armies that people paint up and go and he kept those toys within a message bag, which is significant because as we know we've got the strap. The DNA was blue-lighted up to the lab in Abingdon. The anticipated result for that is midday tomorrow.
That's the one that's open with the chair there.
My objective is to keep Messenger where he is. We go after the car, and if we can join them both together, fantastic. If not, the car will lead us to, if Messenger is not ours, our suspect.
It's 10:45 in the morning.
Yeah, we had a look at the headlights and the rear lights, same sort of position.
While they wait for the forensic results, the hunt for the car that picked up the suspect is narrowing.
From the front grille, it's definitely a Volkswagen. From the rear light, the positioning is a Touran, 2006-2000 model.
At 12:15, the lab report is in.
Team, I just had the DNA results back. It's not Alzheimer's.
He was a good suspect, a very good suspect. I think if this had been 20 years ago where we didn't have DNA evidence based on a witness putting you at the scene and saying it is you, he may well have been charged.
After due consideration, you've been released without charge. However, should further evidence or information become available in relation to this matter, the police reserve the right to review this decision and take appropriate action, which may involve you being rearrested for the offence or steps being taken to commence court proceedings.
On the night Jordan was murdered, I was on the opposite side of Trowbridge. I was gathered around a table rolling dice with friends. I believe we were killing zombies.
Have a check.
With the solicitor being present.
I wouldn't be surprised if I don't get my my penknife back.
I'd begun carrying knives because I was bullied in school. I always felt like if I had to get into a fight, would I ever be able to defend myself? And I began to believe that I'd need a knife in case I ever had to fight back.
I'm glad you took it in the spirit that you did.
There's no point being impatient.
Well, it has taken a long time, but obviously it's a serious matter, and they've obviously got to dot the I's and cross the T's.
So you get this kind of echo chamber. One person is thrown in, he did it, he's the bad person. And you get everyone else chiming in with, it must be him, we didn't like him either. He was different, easy to believe he could have done it. Okay. Witch hunting. The only thing they missed was torches and pitchforks.
Mark, there's a formal record of no further action in relation to the offences for which you were arrested.
My feelings on this are mostly that that's not how you go about capturing someone. That's not justice, and it risked a life that didn't need to be risked.
It's been a long week, it's a Friday night, you've got families to get home to, so we want to keep this fairly short. This morning my focus and direction was around this, what we think is a VW Touran. We've come up with 3 vehicles, one of which we favour at the moment. Registered keeper lives in the North Bradley area of Trowbridge. I obviously want to know if there's any telephone contact between phone and car coming. My lovely Intel team I'm going to ask to stay on for a little longer so we can start developing the phones. Thank you for all your efforts. Have a good evening.
At 6:30 p.m, staff working on the front desk report a development.
He's not here, he's not in.
He's just coming now.
We'll come back to Melksham and somebody can help themselves in. Thank you, bye-bye.
Okay, no worries. Right, just by means of an update, Hayden Andy Maslin has handed himself in at Melksham Police Station with a green Parker, a knife and a Star Wars bag.
It'd take a while booking them in, but what about if we clean the dry cell? Are we happy just putting them in the dry cell? We've got to put them somewhere.
Can I take a surname?
Maslin, M-A-S-L-E-N.
And first name?
Hayden, H-A-Y-D-E-N.
Hayden brought himself to the police station today with his solicitor to state that he is responsible for the injuries caused to 2 males on Sunday the 12th of March, and therefore he's been arrested as a result of that.
Okay. Whilst it was a eureka moment and fantastic, here we go, you're always a little bit sceptical, particularly after the highs and lows of the week.
Hayden Maslin, M-A-S-L-E-N. Hayden Maslin.
Law, there's hardly anything.
There's no trace on PNC. There's just nothing.
Is this the right person? Is this someone who's looking for attention?
Got to round? 09 plate command. Registered to murder.
Right.
But then we start unravelling a little bit more of the truth.
Look at this.
Google Maps.
Where is that?
Somewhere around here.
And we start getting to the bottom of exactly what happened that night.
Any injuries?
It's 1 week after the stabbing of Jordan Taylor and his friend Neil.
These significant events at 6:15 when we're all putting our coats on to go home last night, we get a phone call from Melksham CID to say that Hayden Maslin, 18 years old, handed himself into custody. And with him, he brought the knife used in the offence, the Star Wars bag, and the green Parker coat that we've been looking for.
Okay. Come on then, set you back down.
Just got a brief account from Mum, as you can imagine she was in quite a distressed state, but we were able to confirm that it was herself that picked Hayden up the early hours of Sunday morning, and she confirmed that when he got in that he did state that there was some sort of incidents taking place.
What I want to be in a position of today is that we're going to CPS with a view to getting a charging decision.
He was close to tears in custody several times. He has been assessed by the HCT. He is fit to interview.
Okay, Hayden, you were arrested yesterday evening on suspicion of murder of Jordan Taylor and the attempted murder of Neil. I believe you're going to read your proof of possession.
Okay. On Saturday the 11th of March, I went to my friend's aunt's house. We listened to music, watched TV, and did just nothing, really. When it got to 1 a.m, I realised what the time was and thought I'd better get off home. I packed my bag, which contained my sweets, a bottle of drink, and my mum's birthday present. Also, in the pocket of the bag was a folding lock knife, which I carried for protection.
It was an extremely aggressive looking knife, very sharp edged. Not a kitchen knife, not a butter knife, nothing like that. Designed specifically for creating a great deal of injury, if not designed to kill.
I bought it from a guy in the park when my friend had his door kicked in. I know now, and deep down I knew then, that I shouldn't have bought it, and it was a stupid thing to do.
A misguided and dreadful decision. The worst decision he would ever make, I think.
I heard a car door slam shut and saw the passenger of the car walk confidently across the road to my side of the pavement. Next thing I know, I was hit with a bottle to the right-hand side of my face, shouting, "Give me the bag, give me the fucking bag." And that's when the passenger had grabbed my bag strap and pulled it clean off as the bag fell to the floor. That's when I pulled the knife from the pocket and shouted, "Leave me the fuck alone." I had the open knife in my hand, he was coming at me again, and I punched out at him. I don't know how many times. I was just frightened and thought I was going to get killed over a fucking bag. Sorry.
Take your time.
Take your time.
If you're going to stab somebody, you know that you're going to inflict injury, probably serious injury. And the injuries that Jordan had got had obviously been arrived at with some force.
Your intention at that point with that knife was not to hurt him.
I did not want to hurt either of them.
What was your intention?
Just to scare them off. I thought I might get lucky and they might see it, get in the car and drive away, and that would be the end of it.
It's not always malicious and it's not always intentional for them to carry a knife, but it's just such a dangerous thing to do.
I've been looking back on it since it happened, thinking, you fucking idiot.
His life will never be the same. He will carry the burden of taking someone's life with him for the rest of his life.
I didn't want to hurt either of them.
But I think that pales into insignificance compared to the family of Jordan Taylor and what they have to live with.
How did you feel?
I wanted to run straight to the train station and kill myself. Piece of fucking shit.
Did you consider at any time, Hayden, making a phone call to the emergency services?
Yes. But I didn't.
And why didn't you?
I was scared.
In that case, we'll to finish the interview, and I make it 17:29. I'm going to turn off the tapes.
Hayden, if you go run to that officer there, please.
1 hour later, Hayden is brought to the custody desk.
After the investigation, the officers have decided that you're going to be charged with the following 2 offences. That is, on the 12th of March 2017, at Trowbridge in the county of Wiltshire, you murdered Jordan Anthony Taylor. This is contrary to common law. On the 12th of March 2017, at Trowbridge in the county of Wiltshire, you unlawfully and maliciously caused grievous bodily harm to Neil with intent to do him grievous bodily harm. This is contrary to Section 18 of the Offences Against the Person Act 1861. You do not have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention now something which you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence.
Six months later, after a trial that lasted 10 days, Hayden Maslin was found not guilty of murder, manslaughter, wounding with intent, and wounding without intent. He pleaded guilty to a charge of carrying an offensive weapon and was sentenced to 20 months in a Young Offenders Institute.
It turns out I knew people who knew Hayden, and they all had so many nice things to say about him. And then you find out he's stabbed someone. What would anyone do in that situation? taken the nicest person in the world and put their life in danger, how are they going to react?
He still killed someone, whether it was self-defense or not. So for me, that punishment wasn't enough.
Jordan Taylor has lost his life, and Hayden Maslin has taken that life. And I think if I was Jordan Taylor's parents, I'd want Hayden Maslin to go to prison. As Hayden Maslin's parents, I'd want him to be alive.
You know, these kids carry these knives just thinking that they're going to frighten someone off, and then they fatally injure someone. And then it's game over, isn't it?